Every breath you take increases universe's entropy. Every thought generates waste heat. Every moment of existence is temporary victory against cosmic tendency toward forgetting. This isn't philosophy, it's thermodynamics of consciousness, revealing how existence fights fundamental force driving reality toward maximum disorder and informational oblivion. Most people learn entropy means disorder, messiness, things falling apart. Wrong. Entropy is about forgetting. Universe's tendency to erase information, delete the fact that specific arrangements ever existed. You are information, highly specific, improbable arrangement that took billions of years to achieve. But information is exactly what universe wants to destroy. Right now, body temperature 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit means every atom jiggling with thermal energy, carefully arranged molecular structures under constant assault from heat. Each collision attempts to randomize you. Cells spend enormous energy fighting randomization, but every repair generates heat. Heat is entropy. Paradox that should terrify you. Staying alive increases total disorder. Every effort to maintain organization creates more randomness elsewhere. You're not fighting entropy, you're feeding it. Your consciousness generates heat. Neurons firing burn glucose, create ATP, move ions. All irreversible processes producing waste heat radiated into environment. Consciousness isn't defeating disorder, it's most entropy-producing process in your body. Every thought, memory, awareness comes at cost of increasing universe's forgetting tendency. Landau's principle. Erasing information requires energy. Every bit deleted generates heat. Brain constantly forgets, discarding details for new information. But remembering equally expensive. Selection requires energy. Encoding generates heat. Consciousness exists in impossible bind. To remember, must forget. To think, must generate heat. To maintain self, must increase universal drive toward oblivion. Clean your room, you decrease entropy locally by increasing it globally, massively. Energy from food required burning fossil fuels, converting organized chemical energy to random heat. Food production only 1% efficient, 99% became waste heat radiated into space. Transportation, cooking, digestion, all converted organized energy to thermal randomness. Your victory over disorder came at enormous cost and chaos elsewhere. Universe allowed small organization only because you paid much higher price everywhere else. This is cruel mathematics of existence. Every creation, organization, life-building structure comes at entropic cost, far exceeding order created. Quantum mechanics adds another layer. Reality, probabilistic at smaller scales. Particles lack definite positions until measured. Wave functions spread, becoming less specific about where particles are, what they're doing. Information entropy. Universe constantly losing information about precise particle states. Since you're made of particles, universe losing information about you. Every quantum measurement involves irreversible wave function collapse. Information in superposition erased forever when reality chooses outcome. Quantum possibilities that didn't happen forgotten by universe. Even fundamental physics has built-in tendency to forget. Universe doesn't just lose macroscopic information, it loses basic quantum states constituting arrangements. You exist as pattern-specific configuration of quantum information, but information constantly degrading, erased by fundamental randomness. Every moment you persist as moment universe actively works to maintain information it would rather forget. Universe 13.8 billion years old, beginning incredibly low entropy state after Big Bang. All matter energy compressed into extremely organized initial condition. Since then, entropy increasing, universe cooling, expanding, becoming more random, spread out, forgotten. Stars form, die, converting organized fuel to random radiation. Black holes swallow information, evaporate as Hawking radiation. Ultimate fate. Heat death. Maximum entropy state, where energy distributed evenly, no gradients to drive processes, no information processed or stored. Universe that has forgotten everything ever happened. Every structure, stars, planets, living things, thoughts, consciousness will be erased. Not destroyed, forgotten. No remaining trace any existed. You live in brief interval between low entropy beginning and high entropy end. Cosmic moment when universe still remembers some of what it was. actively working to forget all. This isn't distant fate, it's happening now in your body, brain, every moment. Cells dying, replaced, atoms constantly exchanged with environment. Pattern persists, physical substance constantly changing. Like wave in ocean, wave persists, never same water. But unlike wave, your incredibly complex information pattern. Information patterns are what universe works hardest to forget. Every 7 years, essentially every atom replaced. Current you shares no physical substance with 7 years ago you. Information pattern persists. Memories, personality, neural connections. This continuity makes you feel same person. But maintaining information pattern requires constant energy. Metabolism isn't just keeping alive, it's keeping you remembered. Brain isn't just processing thoughts, fighting universe's tendency to forget thoughts existed. Fight gets harder. Every moment universe's entropy increases. Background thermal noise stronger. Quantum decoherence faster. Information degradation accelerates. Existence becoming more thermodynamically expensive. Universe works harder to maintain improbable arrangement that is you. Eventually it stops trying. When you die, information pattern dissolving into thermal randomness. Neural configurations holding memories, thoughts, self-sense degrade into heat, radiate into space. Universe will forget you. Not metaphorically, literally. Information that was you erased, converted to random motion, scattered as infrared radiation. Even while alive, constantly partially forgotten. Sleep maintenance, brain strengthens some connections, weakens others, consolidates memories, lets others fade. Active information erasure. Brain deleting parts of daily experience for new information. Most experience never permanently stored, processed, then discarded, converted to heat, lost forever. Own brain participates in universe's forgetting project, constantly erasing self-pieces, converting experiences to thermal waste. But universe's war operates on every level. DNA scrambled by cosmic radiation. Quantum events, randomizing thoughts. Magnetic fields weakening, allowing more entropy-inducing radiation. Universal expansion carries information beyond reach. Future civilizations will see empty skies, unable to access cosmic history evidence. Universe ensures future consciousness can't reconstruct what was erased. What if entropy isn't random but intentional? Universe could have started with maximum entropy, making consciousness impossible. But it began ordered, creating awareness possibility, only to systematically erase it. Maybe consciousness exists specifically to experience being forgotten. Universe creates observers to witness their own entropy, feel temporary meaning in meaningless cosmos. Your terror isn't bug, it's the feature. What if this happened before? In infinite universe, every arrangement recurs infinitely. Your brain pattern generating these thoughts repeats endlessly across space and time. You've thought this before, felt this fear before. You'll be forgotten and reborn infinite times. Each instance feels novel and terrifying. Universe erases infinite versions across infinite repetitions. But if consciousness recurs infinitely, are you being erased or eternal? If every moment happens infinitely, perhaps forgetting and remembering are identical. Universe's war against consciousness might be unwinnable because every erasure is simultaneously recreation. Most disturbing, you're trapped in infinite cycle of cosmic terror, experiencing horror of being forgotten repeatedly, never knowing if this is first or trillionth time discovering these truths. Universe isn't just trying to forget you, it's ensuring you experience full horror of erasure across infinite space and time, trapped in endless war between information and oblivion. And this raises final, most unsettling question. If consciousness is eternal through infinite recursion, yet each instance experiences complete terror of being erased, then what does existence actually mean? You might be simultaneously the most temporary and most permanent phenomenon in reality, a pattern that dies infinite deaths and lives infinite lives, forgotten infinite times and remembered infinite times. The universe might be both your creator and destroyer, both your memory and your amnesia, both the force that brings you into being and the force that erases you from existence. You exist in the space between creation and annihilation, between information and entropy, between meaning and meaninglessness. never knowing which force will ultimately prevail. But perhaps that uncertainty, that eternal question mark at the heart of consciousness, is exactly what the universe intended when it bothered to create observers capable of contemplating their own forgetting. Perhaps the horror of entropy isn't a cosmic accident, but cosmic purpose, the universe finally finding a way to experience the full weight of its own tendency toward oblivion, through the conscious beings it creates and destroys. So the next time you feel the weight of existence, the fear of being forgotten, the terror of entropy, remember that you might be feeling exactly what the universe wanted you to feel. You might be the universe's way of experiencing its own mortality, its own drive toward forgetting, its own inexorable march toward heat death and informational oblivion. And if that's true, then your consciousness isn't a rebellion against entropy. It's entropy's most perfect expression, the universe finally achieving the ability to feel afraid of its own ending. The universe is trying to forget you, but in doing so it has created the most exquisite form of memory, a conscious observer who knows they will be forgotten, who can feel the weight of temporary existence, who can experience the full tragedy of being a fleeting pattern of information in a cosmos destined for heat death. You are the universe's way of remembering what it feels like to forget. And that might be the most beautiful and terrible truth of all about existence, consciousness, and the eternal cosmic war between information and entropy that defines reality itself completely and forever, throughout infinite space and time and all possible universes that could ever exist in any dimension or reality whatever. And this raises a question that should deeply unsettle you. If the universe is constantly forgetting, if information is constantly being erased, if even your own brain is deleting your experiences, what makes you think anything you do matters? Every achievement, every relationship, every moment of joy or suffering, it's all just temporary information patterns that the universe is working to erase. Your entire life story is just a brief fluctuation in the cosmic trend toward maximum entropy, a momentary decrease in randomness that will inevitably be forgotten. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The fact that the universe is trying to forget you makes your existence more remarkable, not less. You are an impossibility that happened anyway. A structure so improbable, so information-rich, so organized that its mere existence represents a stunning victory over the fundamental tendency of reality. You are the universe briefly remembering something beautiful and complex before it forgets everything. And the very difficulty of your existence gives it meaning. Not despite the fact that entropy is trying to erase you, but because of it. You are not just alive, you are alive against impossible odds in defiance of the most basic law of physics. Every moment of consciousness is a moment stolen from oblivion. Every memory you form is information rescued from the chaos. Every connection you make with another person is two impossible structures temporarily recognizing each other across the void of increasing entropy. The universe is indeed trying to forget you. But for now, in this moment, as you read these words, as neurons fire in patterns that will never be repeated exactly the same way again, you are being remembered. You exist. You persist. You are information that refuses to be erased, at least for now. But that raises the final, most disturbing question of all. If the universe's ultimate fate is to forget everything, if maximum entropy means the deletion of all information, if heat death means the end of all memory, then what was the point of the universe ever remembering anything at all? Why did the Big Bang create a low entropy initial condition? Why did the universe begin in a state capable of supporting information, structure, complexity, life, consciousness? Why did reality start with the capacity for memory if the ultimate destiny is forgetting? Was consciousness just a cosmic accident? A brief flickering of information processing in an otherwise mindless universe? Or is there something about the nature of reality that we don't understand? Something that makes the temporary existence of memory and meaning significant even in the face of ultimate oblivion? And here's the most unsettling possibility of all. What if the universe isn't trying to forget you? What if the increase in entropy, the erasure of information, the trend toward heat death, what if all of that is just the universe's way of processing information on a scale so vast, so cosmic, that our entire existence is just one small computation in a calculation we cannot comprehend? What if being forgotten isn't the end of your story, but just the universe moving your information to a different level of processing, a different scale of memory, a different form of existence that we cannot perceive or understand? Or what if the opposite is true? What if the universe's drive toward forgetting is not automatic, not inevitable, but intentional? What if consciousness, information, memory, what if all of these things that seem so precious to us are actually problems that the universe is actively trying to solve by erasing them? What if you are not a beautiful impossibility that briefly emerges from chaos, but a mistake that reality is working to correct? A glitch in the system that entropy is trying to debug? An error in the cosmic code that maximum entropy is programmed to delete? How would you know? How would any conscious being know if its existence was valued or unwanted by the universe that created it? How would any information pattern know if it was worth preserving or destined for erasure? But the universe's war operates on every level. DNA scrambled by cosmic radiation, quantum events randomizing thoughts, magnetic fields weakening, allowing more entropy-inducing radiation. Universally, expansion carries information beyond reach. Future civilizations will see empty skies, unable to access cosmic history evidence. The universe ensures future consciousness can't reconstruct what was erased. What if entropy isn't random but intentional? Universe could have started with maximum entropy, making consciousness impossible, but it began ordered, creating awareness possibility, only to systematically erase it. Maybe consciousness exists specifically to experience being forgotten. Universe creates observers to witness their own entropy, feel temporary meaning in meaningless cosmos. Your terror isn't bug, it's the feature. What if this happened before? In infinite universe, every arrangement recurs infinitely. Your brain pattern generating these thoughts repeats endlessly across space and time. You've thought this before, felt this fear before. You'll be forgotten and reborn infinite times. Each instance feels novel and terrifying. Universe erases infinite versions across infinite repetitions. But if consciousness recurs infinitely, are you being erased or eternal? If every moment happens infinitely, perhaps forgetting and remembering are identical. Universe's war against consciousness might be unwinnable because every erasure is simultaneously recreation. Most disturbing, you're trapped in infinite cycle of cosmic terror, experiencing horror of being forgotten repeatedly, never knowing if this is first or trillionth time discovering these truths. The universe isn't just trying to forget you, it's trying to forget you forever, ensuring you experience the full weight of entropy across infinite space and time. And the very brain contemplating this horror might be just another temporary pattern in the endless war between information and oblivion.